Live from VentureX Studios, it's JP, Kathy, and the crew.
Facebook is not showing live yet. There we go. Hey, good morning. It is time to wake up. Oh, yeah, you've already been awake. You've already had 7 cups of coffee. I forgot.
7.
We don't start as early as we used to. It's noon somewhere.
7 cups of coffee.
7 cups of coffee.
I want to see the person who can do 7 cups of coffee.
His name is Stan the Man. You think I'm kidding.
For some reason, I believe you.
He would drink nearly 8 pots of coffee a day, if not more.
What?
Yeah, he'd start in the morning,
Yeah.
go to work, drink coffee. He drinks coffee.
And we're not talking pots. I mean, cups.
Pots of coffee.
Like Keurigs. You're talking big old pot.
Pots of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could he sleep at night?
Oh, yeah. God, yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's pickled with coffee. Is what I've always said. Good morning. Welcome to JP, Kathy, and the crew.
Happy Friday.
We have a bit of an interesting show to throw out at you. We've got some interesting musical talent.
Yes.
We've got.
Oh, I need to send that over to Nathaniel.
You do.
I need to
but
send
we've
that
also got a
over.
Miss Texas that has a musical talent.
We have a forever Miss Texas who has an incredible voice. Oh,
Right.
my goodness. Oh.
Right. So we got that going on.
Amazing.
Of course, we got the Kathy and the JP and the crew shenanigans, and we've got
As always on a Friday.
all kinds of
Dun,
fun
dun,
stuff
dun, dun, dun.
going on. We'll talk some sports as well, and an experience I had in front of Tractor Supply.
What's the Farm Road 428 hat?
Isn't that cool?
Does that have something to
I
do
thought
with
it was cool.
your shebang?
Yeah, it does. That's where my home is at now.
That's fun.
It's on 428.
That's fun.
Isn't that cool?
I like it.
I thought that was cool.
Where'd you get it? At the
At a
tractor
little
shop?
No, a little boutique downtown Aubrey.
Huh.
Isn't that kind of neat?
That's fun. I
Yeah,
like it.
Until you pay for it.
Do you pay for the hat?
Yeah.
How much was that?
Ooh, $27.99
For a baseball cap?
for a cap.
Usually you pay that if it's like a sports team and it's part of their
I'm just
You
telling you,
know,
it's a
their
shebang and a
marketing.
shaboodle marketing. It's
Yeah. Wow. That's an
Ooh.
expensive little farm to road
but
hat.
it's awesome looking though. I'll tell you what. When I'm on FM 428, I feel
You're like, look at me.
I'm feeling like I'm a part of it. You know, of course, Coach Quigley's already gone onto the feed. Good morning, Astro fans.
Yeah, I went ahead and wore the Texas Rangers hat today.
You know,
I
with
figured
all the
I'd
moving,
get chops busted.
all the moving I've done, I think I left the Astros hat in Glendale again.
Oh, doggone it.
I can't win to lose for that hat. I cannot.
It's your body's way of rebelling it.
It is. I do want to start us off with something I'm not really
Rebelling
pleased
against
with.
the Houston Astros.
And it's something I sent you.
Wait, what is this now?
This is a story I sent you. That was really upsetting to me.
Yes.
And so I want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's read that story. I was really taken aback by that.
Yeah, I want to talk about it. And,
And did our Forever Miss Texas get the
it was on. It was a
email?
CBS News story. So let's give.
Oh, perfect.
Are we good?
Go right ahead.
Are we good?
Go right ahead.
Have we produced? Are we done? Have we
We're
taken
good,
care of this?
we're
Okay,
good.
just checking. Just making sure the two of you have gotten your love affair on. Are we past now? Are we moved on?
Well, we're trying to make sure we've got our Forever Miss Texas.
And we couldn't do that before that sound came on? Are you serious?
She just pinged me, honey.
Pinged you.
Just pinged me.
Well, that's better than something else, I guess.
Gosh.
So, no, CBS News released this story. A daughter of a 73-year-old violently arrested by Colorado police says officers need to go to jail. This happened in Larimer County, Colorado. District Attorney is looking at possible criminal charges. 3 officers were caught on video performing a violent arrest on an elderly woman with dementia. Yes, you heard me correctly. The officers have resigned. Now, check this out. The woman is 73 years old, weighs 80 pounds.
I mean, she's like, did you watch the video?
Yes.
So she's tiny.
I mean, how imposing is this woman? Truly,
I
how
mean,
imposing.
most 5th graders could grab a hold. A husky 5th grader
Right.
could grab a hold of her and by himself or herself take her over to a police car if need be, if that's what they feel like they need to do.
Yeah, the officers have resigned. Her daughter told CBS News that she could not understand how this happened. Neither can I, to be honest with you. Her name is Karen Garner. She was taking her 4 times a day trip to Walmart. She would go to Walmart 4 times a day. And in June, she picked up a Pepsi, a Kit Kat candy, and a T-shirt and wipes. By the way, this is kind of her thing.
This is definitely her thing. This is part of her routine. You've got a lot of elderly folks or people who have a disability or have, for some reason, can't go on with the normal way. They went on with life, with job or whatever the case may be. Well, Lathan talked about that lady who went blind, so she went and distributed prayer cards at a park across the street. So this lady, her thing was going to Walmart, picking up the candy she likes, maybe a little magazine, maybe a little something.
Yeah, it was the same routine every day, 4 times a day.
The people at Walmart probably are like, "Oh, hello, how are you today?" Because they're used to her, they know the scene, all that kind of good stuff.
So she walks out of the store this time without paying for it because she forgot essentially to walk through and pay for it. I mean, again, she makes this trip 4 times a day. And she gets it. The security comes out, brings her back in. She turns the stuff over without a fight, no problem. Surprised that it's happened. Gets in her car to go home. Within a block of leaving, gets pulled over by Loveland Police Department. And it's unbelievable what happens next. And I'm pulling the story up. I'm going to put the link in our feed.
Oh, yeah, so we can...
so you can all see what I'm talking about.
And you can watch the video.
Yeah, I mean... And you wonder why police officers are coming under fire.
Well, so no. These are 2 separate issues. We've discussed before.
This is a police officer beating on an elderly woman.
But we've discussed before. There are, unfortunately, just like in education, you've got bad teachers in.
What do you think I said? Do you think I said all police are bad or something?
No. But I want to make sure and clarify. Police officers, we're huge supporters of Back the Blue. Huge supporters.
Yeah,
of
that doesn't change.
These guys, to me, I wonder why did they need 3 police officers? Did they call for backup? Because there were 3 officers, right?
Well, so he rips her out of the car, throws her to the ground, handcuffs her.
But there are 3 of them at this point.
Well, the other one came over to help him.
And here's my thing.
Because she got scared.
Were there 3 in the car? Or
there were 2 cars.
Okay, so there were 2 police cars.
Right.
Okay, so there was even backup. Okay.
And so, I mean, they rip her to the ground. She's got dementia. She's panicking. She's upset. The other one comes over to help him out. And this police officer helps him rip her up off the ground, throw her up against the car. When all's said and done, her jacket's full of blood from all of the handcuffs and stuff. And again, my comment is, this is the type of thing that give police officers a bad name. I'm not saying I don't support Back the Blue, don't support our local police and police all across the country. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that this is the type of publicity that you can't get into. This woman's not fighting. She's not causing issues.
Well, she's a very small, frail woman.
And there's no way that this looks good anywhere. It's a natural disaster.
They resigned right away.
Yeah.
But criminal acts are still being, and maybe have I don't know, have you seen a follow-up on the story?
Not yet.
Because as of a couple of days ago when you sent me the story, the criminal proceedings were being looked into.
Right. Well, and it says it in this article as well, but I haven't seen if they've actually filed anything. I know that the daughters hired a lawyer and they are filing a lawsuit against the city as well. The chief of police came out and condemned them right away for what they were doing as well. So, but just very discouraging. I was very upset. I watched the video and only watched like half of it at a time.
Video was tough.
Because it was so hard. That could have been my mom. That
video
could have been
was
Kathy's
tough.
Mom.
Video was very tough.
What are these
very
three
tough.
thinking? So, anywho, had to get that off my chest because it was just so very upsetting. So now the upsetting stuff is over. Now I'm done with that.
Oh, there's always something else upsetting we can talk about.
Oh, well, no, Joe Biden and those guys, they aren't upsetting. They're just ridiculous. They need to be removed from office before they take all of your money because they're going to come after that next. That's for sure. Now, on an uplifting note, I went to Tractor Supply last night.
Right.
And needed to pick up a tire because we blew a tire out on a cart, right?
Oh, that's no fun.
Well,
What does that mean?
You load a bunch of rock into
What's a cart? Like a cart.
Well, it's a big cart. Like this is a heavy duty farming cart.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
So this thing can handle John Payton's weight inside of it, plus some more rocks. And so we're loading rock up.
Doing hay rides, folks.
I know, right? They load some rock up. And the tire splits right down the middle.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah, no taco bueno. And so anyways,
old tire?
Yeah, whole tire.
Old tire, yeah. No,
not old. No.
Not an old tire?
No, heavy rock.
Sounds like if it splits, that
no,
it's like
split
an old.
right down the seam.
Wow.
Yep. So I went and got a tire. Well, in the meantime, I don't know if you can zoom in on this. I know that you can. If you would zoom in, there's an organization that was set up outside, and they were selling crosses. And there were 3 gentlemen probably about mid-30s that were running the program. And I said, what, they said, when you get time to come back out, stop back by. I said, I will. So you are mystrongtower.com is what the organization is called. Again, you are mystrongtower.com if you want to look it up. And it is called the Strong Tower Ministries. It's a 12-month faith-based residential program for men and women facing life-controlling issues. They have daily classes, vocational activities, worshiping together. They fight side by side with every student for full recovery and aid each person in finding freedom through Christ. Our ultimate goal is to make more disciples. And so the gentleman that I was visiting with, his name was Ricky Isaacs. He's a veteran who became homeless, addicted to drugs, living on the street, and didn't have any hope. And these folks walked up to him and gave him hope. And he's been in full recovery. And so now, Kathy, I'm going to hand this to you.
Excellent.
We're going to program for your brother.
Turn these on to This Pink Cloud. Lisa and I may be able to have them on our Heart and Soul Texas Women. This is great.
Yeah, and so
love it.
I told them about what we're doing, and we like to get the word out, and we have several shows, and they gave me a cross. I didn't ask for
that.
it, and they said, we're blessed to have met you. We want to give you a cross.
Well, and isn't it a nice day when you get a cross?
It is a nice day when you get a cross. That's why I'm saying uplifting story.
Yeah,
it's a good
I like
uplifting
that.
story.
Well, I like that. Now, I am going to have to say that, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I had a bunch of folks blow up my phone and send me messages, and so I'm assuming it is accurate, and would not surprise me because he took God out of the Pledge of Allegiance at the Democrat convention this summer. Joe Biden did a proclamation for National Day of Prayer, which is normal for presidents to do because yesterday was a National Day of Prayer. And he did not have the word God in there. I'm like, help me out.
And I'm only going to ask this just to have you tell everybody else, right? Because this has been fact checked, right? There's no way anybody made a mistake, right?
I'm going to check, and I'm saying if somebody else knows differently, that's why I did my whole little disclaimer. Well, my whole disclaimer. Again, I had several girlfriends who were like, "I'm appalled. I cannot believe that the president did not mention God in his proclamation for National Day of Prayer," but I haven't read it yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, so if he's mentioned God in there, okay, then somebody correct me. But if which it looks like he did not put God in there, and I'm going to look this up in just a second. He left it out. I mean, this is the National Day of Prayer,
right?
Even obviously President Trump put the word God in there. Even Joe Biden's buddy Obama, President Obama, put God in the National Day of Prayer. So I just. Somebody help me out.
Let's Google it.
Yeah, I mean, just somebody help me out on this.
Because it's 8:15, so we have got
Shilah on.
I was about to say we should have her. So I need to Google it.
Awesome. We'll bring her on, then we'll look that up. Somebody again, correct me if I'm wrong. And does that bother anybody else? It just really obviously it bothered several of my girlfriends who sent me that. If that's actually the case. Really does bother me. So where is the beautiful Shilah Phillips? Let us know when she is on.
Hear me?
Yes, good morning. Can she hear us?
I can hear you.
Yay!
Can you see me?
No.
No, we see a really cool black and white picture of you.
A thumbnail picture.
Let me right.
We are getting video and audio up for one of our Forever Miss Texases.
Well, and she's a heck of a lot better looking than I am. So you definitely want to
we definitely want to put her on the screen.
Yeah, you definitely want to look at her. And he did. God left out of Biden's National Day of Prayer proclamation.
Okay, so there you go. There she is. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
How are you, Shilah?
I am doing well.
Awesome. Well, it's so great to see you. So talk to us. When were you crowned and when did you reign as Miss Texas?
Well, I was crowned Miss Texas back in 2006, so I go back.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, and then so were you talk about your involvement in pageants? How did you get involved? And then what was your experience?
Okay, I was actually entered into pageants through a friend. A friend got me involved, and she actually entered me into my first pageant. And she said, you know, hey, Shilah, I think this would be good for your singing career. And so she signed me up for the local Miss Plano Frisco pageant. And she kind of took care of it for me and helped me fill out the paperwork. And that's how I got involved. So it was through a friend. And I wasn't sure that I really wanted to compete, but she really pushed me along and entered me into it.
I love it. Well, okay, so this was because now I believe the Miss Frisco and Miss Plano competition are separated out, but this was combined Miss Plano Frisco?
Yes, well, there were still two titles, but you know, the pageants were together in the sense that you know, it was Miss Plano Frisco, and you know, they would have the pageant and give away two.
Gotcha. Okay, I've got you on that. Okay, so you win the title of Miss Frisco, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and
yes.
then
so
so talk to us from there. So this was your first experience ever in a pageant, and you win a significant title.
Yes, and I was shocked how many girls showed up. It was over, I think, 50 girls that showed up. So I was like, wow,
what is happening?
Huge. And a lot of the girls that showed up had actually entered into the Miss Texas pageant before. So I was very shocked. I was like, wow, this is a really big deal.
I love it. I love it. So then from being on that, did you enter into did you enter into Miss Texas yourself? Tell us about that progress.
I did. I had a lot of help. So my director was actually Jan Mitchell from there.
Yes.
And she really just helped me to get everything together to go to Miss Texas. And of course, I found out that Miss Texas would be televised. And I was like, wow, it's going to be on TV. She says, yes, you know, it's a big event.
You're
Everyone
like, no
watches.
pressure.
What? People watch this on television?
Oh.
So I couldn't believe, you know, it was going to be such a big deal that people would watch it all around Texas.
Yes.
Like, oh, it's a really big event. People will be watching you all over Texas. And I was very blown away because, you know, I was actually from California. I didn't know that pageants were such a huge deal in the South. So
they're ginormous. Yes, they're huge, and yes, they're televised. You know, I remember being a little girl back in the day, and like watching the Miss Texas competition on TV was just like huge. I would hold my baton. I would have, you know, like some kind of a, you know, blanket wrapped around like a cape. I don't know where I got that idea from, but anyways, you know, and just, you know, you'd have on a fake tiara and you'd have a good time.
Yes, it was a really big deal. And, you know, from doing that local pageant, Miss Plano Frisco, to going to Miss Texas, I put in a lot of work just getting prepared for the competition.
Right. And so let's talk about the Miss Texas competition. What were your thoughts? Were you just kind of overwhelmed because it is such a big business and it is such a big deal?
I was definitely overwhelmed. I thought, oh my goodness, I don't really know what I've gotten myself into. I was overwhelmed, but, you know, I really just went in there thinking I'm just going to work really, really hard. I don't know what's going to happen, but I really, really wanted the money for college. And I really just wanted to give my all and do my best. And I was really hoping to come out with some type of a scholarship.
And that's what we love about the Miss Texas competition. We talk about this all the time with our Forever Miss Texas winners on the show, and then the ones who are vying for Miss Texas. Those scholarships are amazing. I mean, that can just change the course of a young woman's life, being able to pay for college, for advanced education, for a master's degree, a doctorate degree. So that's just amazing.
Absolutely.
So now, Shilah, this is JP. So what part of California are you from?
Well, it's nothing to brag about. I am from the Central Valley. I am from Fresno. That's where I'm born.
Well, I knew that because that's where I was born as well, at St. Agnes
Really?
Hospital, January 23rd, 1972, right downtown Fresno.
Wow.
And I went to Clovis High School. We moved over to Clovis, the big town of Clovis, right next door.
Wow.
I used to drag Blackstone, which has changed dramatically. When did you move out of Fresno?
What does that mean?
Blackstone was the road.
I moved out of Fresno when I was pretty young. So I didn't really we didn't grow up there all the way. My family moved to Denver, Colorado when I was pretty young. So I wasn't totally there, but I was born there in Fresno, California. And so that's where they grow all the fruit.
In fact, they're the number one importing fruit and vegetable area in the world. The San Joaquin Valley is. Nobody imports or exports more fruits and vegetables.
That.
So,
and I'm from the fruit of the world, really, and that's where the California raisins come from.
There you go. That's right. That's right. But yeah, no, it's interesting. I saw that you were from Fresno. I'm from Fresno, and my sister and I used to participate in pageants all over California. I was like little Mr. California. I had a little scepter and a little crown, the whole 9 yards. I had my little brown polka dot bow tie and my little tan 3-piece suit. I thought I was something special, let me tell you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it ended early. We still want to
see pictures.
It ended early, let me just tell you. Now, you have also branched off into a singing career of some sort, right?
Well, but let's talk about the Miss Texas competition, because obviously you get into this pageant. This is the first time you're competing in the Miss Texas pageant. And what happens?
Well, it started off pretty well. So I ended up winning all my preliminaries, and I said, well, I'm not going to, take this as anything necessarily, but, it turned out really well, and I ended up becoming the winner. Yay. I ended up winning Miss Texas.
I love that. And then you went on to the Miss America competition and did extremely well there as well.
Yes, I ended up becoming the first runner-up to Miss America.
Yeah, just amazing.
$26,000 in scholarship, or $27,000 total in scholarship.
Wow, that's amazing.
So it was a blessing, and I ended up completing my bachelor's degree at the University of North Texas in jazz studies. And it is the most renowned school for jazz studies in the entire world. So that has been a blessing as well. And I've gone on to have a singing career.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Well, and I did ask you last night if your vocals were warmed up this morning, if you would be available to sing a few bars of something for us today.
Yes, you did.
Yay!
She didn't say yes.
I know. She said yes.
She
did.
You asked me. Yes,
I'm like, yeah, come on.
And I said I would try to sing a little bit of something for you.
Love it.
And I said I would try to sing a little bit of a few bars of the Star Spangled Banner for you.
I love it. Yes.
I said I could sing a little bit, and I will do that for you.
Yay.
All right, I'll sing a little bit for you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Just a little bit for you.
That's amazing.
Amazing.
Wow.
Well, thank you for doing that.
We love that. What a great way to start off a Friday.
It is a
and a
great
Friday
way.
before Mother's Day. Well, how do people follow you? I know you're, you do concerts. You are a musical performer. How do people follow you if they'd like to hire you to sing? How do they do that, Shilah? How do we get folks over to you?
Well, I am on Shilah Phillips Music. That is my handle on Facebook. And I am on Instagram at Shilah Phillips. So you can also follow me there.
Excellent.
And my website is www.shilahphillips.com.
All right, I'm going to drop those, ShilahPhillips.com. Okay, perfect. Going to drop these into our social media feed so people can get in touch with you. Shilah, thank you so much for coming on today. What an incredible talent you are. And we're just so happy to have you finally come on to JP, Kathy, and the crew. Like I said, Susan Schuler is one of your biggest fans. And like I said, when we were doing the judging for the spring workshop, a couple of weekends ago, on every break, she was like playing me another one of your songs. So you've got a big old fan club.
Did we lose her?
Maybe
Shilah, can you hear us?
we can see her.
Oh, I think we've lost her, sound-wise anyway.
Well, Shilah, thank you again. Blessings to you and much success. I was talking to her last night. God doesn't just hand out voices like that to everybody and anybody, and she is just so amazingly talented. So we're just so excited to have her on here. Oh, and I'm going to put this into our feed, so we are good to go. So, all right, JP, what do we have going on for Mother's Day this weekend? Anybody have some good? Or is she back on?
Shilah, can you hear us okay? Or
I can hear you.
Now
there
we
you
can
go.
hear you. Oh, okay.
now, is there anything special you'd like to say to your mom as we finish up the segment?
Oh, yes, I would. Actually, my mother has undergone a double knee replacement surgery and is just healing up for the Mother's Day. So she's been through a lot lately. And I'd like to tell her, wish her a happy Mother's Day, and also for her and my grandmother and they've all been so sweet. And I would just like to wish her a happy Mother's Day and a speedy recovery.
Love it. Oh, that's so nice. Well, happy Mother's Day to your mom and your grandmother. And again, just thank you so much for being such a blessing and being a blessing to our show and coming on today. We really appreciate you. And we hope we can have you back on again. And if you ever have a concert here locally, let us know and we'll help you promote that on the show.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
You bet.
Thank you, Shilah.
Thanks, Shilah.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm glad we got the audio back. She's amazingly talented. I heard her singing Whitney Houston's famous song. What am I thinking of? Da, 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 da. I will always love you. Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome.
Do that again.
That's the best you get. I don't. You know me. I don't do artists. I don't do song
Don't
titles.
try in that.
But I can do this. Da 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 da.
Well, she sang that, and I mean, you close your eyes and you think Whitney Houston is singing herself. I mean, she is just so amazingly talented, just amazingly talented. So it's very exciting. I'm going to try to pull this up. Because of the format it was sent in, JP, we can't send it to be played through the board. So I'm hoping Coach Quigley has a cousin. His name's Michael Quigley. Great guy. I've gotten to be friends with him over Facebook and got to be a fan of his over Facebook because he is in a band called 3 Shades of Grey. And it's all like they're all over, they're all in their retirement years. So I think, Nathaniel, if I put this to the mic to it. Okay, so I'm going to try to play this. So it is, Michael Quigley sent this to me, and he said, this is a song called I Love You, Mom, Happy Mother's Day. It's one of the songs that he wrote with Skip Smith.
Good song, by the way.
Yes. Anyway, so he, it's a song that we have permission because he is the artist who has given us permission to play this song. So
well, I don't think it's out for consumption yet.
Oh, possibly, maybe not. He said reproduction process as well as one of our songs it's going to be on a 16-song CD with all originals. Oh, that's a great idea.
Grogu's
It's
like, hey,
right.
wait a minute.
They're like, wait.
Grogu's like, wait a minute. I'm not ready to go to bed. It's not bedtime yet. Well, no, wake up.
It's just press play.
I said,
on
Kathy,
that.
wake up. Kathy, it's me, Grogu. Wake up, Kathy.
I know.
Okay, thank you, Kathy. We're friends again. Nah, I'm not upset. I'm upset with you.
So this is Michael Quigley, and this is an original song that he has written. That sounds good.
Yes.
I am blessed to call you mother. I would never want another. You're the one who hates the drama. That is why I love you, Mama. When I'm worried, you keep me calm. Just one of the reasons I love you, Mom. Like a meal with bread and butter. I'm not complete without you, Mother. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I'm so glad you love me so. What more can I say? Please accept our gratefulness from us 3 shades of gray. Relax and fun. It's Mother's Day. Without you, Mom, you're always with me, near or far. I'm making this your special day. You deserve it all in every way. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I'm so glad you love me so. What more can I say? Please accept our gratefulness from us 3 shades of gray. Relax and fun, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I'm so glad you love me so. What more can I say? Please accept our gratefulness from us 3 shades of gray. Relax and fun. It's Mother's Day. It's Mother's Day.
love it.
So Fredo,
Love it.
Fredo's like,
love it and love it.
is this an Adam Sandler tune? And I'm like, yeah, it has the melody, but it's got good words.
Thank
The
you
words
so
are
much,
sweet.
Nathaniel. Oh, I love it. I love it.
So there you go.
Yay, 3 Shades of Grey. And they are very talented. You can follow 3 Shades of Grey on social media. And they were doing concerts prior to COVID. I think they're starting to get back into it. So just very talented. And if you hop on, they might even personalize a song for you.
All right. Well, and Coach Quigley says that UNT School of Jazz
Oh, there
is
you
where
go.
these guys all began. So
there you go. A
All
great school for musicians.
All right, let's talk a little
Love
baseball.
it, love it, and love it.
Before we get into Joe Biden and the rest of the crew of idiots, because AOC has lifted her head out of her turtle shell again. She's a moron.
We were having a really nice time.
I'm
We go from
excited.
I
want to become an environmentally, what are they calling them? An environmentally justice area. I'm going to see if my ranch can become an environmental justice zone.
So now the environment's getting justice.
They have justice too. Yeah.
You can't make this up.
No.
So, like,
environmental
can I
justice.
have angry flowers in my backyard?
Yes. And by the way, the
Oh my
the
gosh.
director of the FDA is going to create, or EPA, I'm sorry, is also, he's going to create equity in the environment.
Okay.
And we're gonna award those less fortunate communities with environmental justice. Yeah, oh yeah, it was way funny, man.
Well, now here's, you know what, and this is recently was done in an area of South Dallas, and it's awesome. It's been hugely successful. Where you take parts that have been, gangs have come through, destroyed, areas, graffiti, just horrible things,
that's
and
art.
they're cleaning it up. Well, no. This is something that just happened in South Dallas. It was all cleaned up, and then they turned it into a place where people can garden, people can sell items that they have, like if they have honey or if they have art or if they even had like a DJ out there playing music. So now, if you're talking about taking areas that are impoverished, that are a rough spot, and so that's not what they're talking
You're
about.
way off. No, you're way off. That's called neighborhood revitalization. That's been in
That's
place
nice.
since a long time.
Yeah, and that's
No,
good stuff.
This is environmental justice and environmental
don't get
equity.
it.
You're not going to get it.
Kathy, good. You will not.
You will not get this.
And I will tell you
anybody-
the story, and you will still not get
Right.
it.
Well, anybody that's rational doesn't get it. It's ridiculous. AOC is ridiculous. This whole equitable and this environmental equity. Nobody can define what that is. It's like, what is environmental equity? And what they're talking about is well, these impoverished neighborhoods had nuclear power plants dropped in them. No. Generally, those have been around for years before homes were built anywhere close to it. It was funny. We were talking about a mill. That mill had been around for over 100 years with no houses around it for 50. But now that neighborhood is environmentally inequitable. And we need environmental justice.
I feel like when I used to watch Game of Thrones, which by the way, one of my favorite all-time shows, but at the beginning of each season, my husband and I were always like, you know what? We need a giant graph to show us who's where, what's on who. That's what I feel like with this administration, because everybody's mad about everything, even inanimate objects.
Yeah.
Are mad.
There's inequity
and I'm
there.
like, I don't get it.
Yeah. So let's talk baseball before we go into the environmental justice and equity wars. All right. Houston Astros have a big night last night. Altuve has a big night last night. I mean, he just went monster.
Sorry, Coach, I wore the wrong hat for you.
Beat the Yankees, avoid a sweep. Yankees and Astros both 16 and 15 at this point. Players of the game for that game were the pitchers, actually. Well, I take that back. The pitchers for the Houston Astros, anyways. Cole went 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and no walks, while Alvarez, the DH, also picked up player of the game honors for Houston. He went 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 home runs, 2 ribbies. And so they're your players of the game. Just let's do that for you, Coach. All right, the Philadelphia Phillies and the Brewers, they faced off. Phillies walk away with this one 2-0. It was a pitcher's duel all the way around. Tigers 9 and 23. Don't see them having a good 500 year again. So Detroit, I'm sorry. Boston Red Sox win that game 12-9. They moved to 19 and 13. By the way, the Astros avoided being swept by the Yankees by picking up the game last night. Texas Rangers are 16-17, surprisingly. They beat the Twins, who are hapless at 11-19. Players of the game, just so we can give honorable mention, Texas Rangers Hearn, the pitcher, 2 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. And then Pineda for the Twins, he pitched 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, and a walk. But the Rangers almost 500. So there you go. New York Mets are 500. They are 13-13 after a win over the Cardinals, 4-1. They take them, and the Cardinals are 18-14. The Cleveland Indians, 17-13, beat the Kansas City Royals, who are 16-14. They are 4-0. Or they win that game 4-0. Blue Jays are 16-14. They win that game 10-4 over the Athletics, who are 19-14. And then the Braves and the Nationals face off. The Braves win that game 3-2, and so we'll have to see how that continues on. The last 2 games of the night, Tampa Bay Rays 18-15. They take on the Angels at 13-17. They win that game 8-3, and the Diamondbacks drop to the Marlins 3-1. That's your roundup on baseball, getting you through the weekend. Then a big weekend in baseball. Rangers are back at a homestand, so you can go out and get a boomstick, Kathy.
There you go. Good times. No, that doesn't appeal to me.
The boomstick?
No.
Why? It's huge. It's like this big.
I know. That's like it just says heartburn written all over it.
Oh, no, it does have that. There's Pepsid AC or something like that.
Yeah, like
sure.
you got to take your Pepsid or your Zantac or whatever beforehand. But I do want to get out to the new ballpark. I've had a number of friends who have gone out. They said it's beautiful. They said it is well worth going out there, even if the Rangers don't do well that night. But I want to go out there even if it's in the nosebleed sections.
Yeah. So Coach Quigley corrected me. It wasn't that Mike went to UNT. It was Miss Texas did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Because I knew she was a UNT person. Yeah.
Yeah, and Coach Quigley mentioned that Pujols gets cut in his last year of his 10-year contract. Saw that. That's just them cutting string. I'm going to be curious to see who picks him up.
Interesting. Yeah, somebody's going to grab him.
The Rangers need to pick him up.
There you go.
There you go, yo. All right. So if you're trying to catch us on the Facebook, and I say it that way because it's acting like it's 100 years old, the JPK Broadcasting Network is not coming out on Restream. We don't know why.
Now, we finally got it back on one of our social media platforms. So we had an issue Wednesday when you were gone. We had an issue with it. It played on your personal stuff, but not our other stuff. So but it's not on Restream?
Well, the chat's not. And so if you're seeing us not chat with you, Coach Quigley is the only one on the Facebook Restream. So good for you, Coach.
Go, Coach.
So, all right. So enough with baseball news. How about this? Reverend Graham, this is off of Kathy's lead. Reverend Graham reacts to the fact that Joe Biden left the word God out of the prayer.
So it was definitely left out. Yeah. So, okay, and you're upset. I'm glad I'm not the only one upset about this. Yeah. When my girlfriend started sending me that, I'm like, really? And I'm like, okay. But then more people, I was like, okay, there's got to be something to this. And I think people are really upset.
Well, Franklin Graham doesn't believe that Joe Biden did it himself. He believes that there was a staffer that wrote this speech. Biden didn't even look at it, went out and gave the speech. He said he doesn't believe that Biden would leave God out. Biden, who claims to be a devout Roman Catholic.
Who promotes third trimester abortion. Explain that one to me, Joe.
Well, yeah, but I got a lot of issues with a lot of those folks. So.
Oh, my gosh.
But anyways.
Explain that to me.
And as Franklin said, who else do you pray to but God? In fact, his direct quote, there is no one else to pray to except to God, said Franklin Graham. Called him out on Twitter. And so it's going to be interesting to see if the president reacts or responds to this. Was it on purpose? Did he purposely leave God out?
Well,
and that's the movement of this country. And when you take God out,
the movement of the liberal. And we took God out of everything a long time ago, and that's why we're where we are.
What do we take?
They took, oh my gosh, out of school. We've taken,
we have the Pledge of Allegiance though. Still,
but here's
we're
the
still
thing.
Under God.
Pledge of
right?
Allegiance. You go back to the Democrat convention.
Well, yeah,
they left out under God. But again, I don't think this is the movement of the country. I don't think this is the voice of the majority. I think this is the voice of the liberal, extreme, socialist left that is trying to cut out the middle class. They're trying to take God out of everything. They want to make everything be generic. No excellence. Everybody's the same. And I just have a problem with that. And I'm sorry, if you're going to read a proclamation about the National Day of Prayer, and I've had proclamations written up for me, but I always fine-tune them. Back when I was commissioner, we used to do proclamations all the time. And even if it was something that I wasn't, like something I wasn't well versed in, somebody else would help start the proclamation for me. But I always read that before I went and announced it and presented it, before I had it officially printed up as a plaque or in a frame or whatever the case may be. Shame on him if he didn't realize that it didn't mention God in there.
Well, again, though, Franklin Graham is saying, I don't believe it. He would be, by the way, he is the only president in our history not to mention God.
So it's not just the past two presidents that have mentioned, it's prior presidents always mention God as well.
Always.
I think that was done by design. And I would assume
I agree.
Joe Biden did not write that proclamation, but knew very well what was going to be in it. I don't think he's really running his administration, but he's signing off on everything.
Well, he's not running his administration.
He's signing off on everything.
Talking about not running his administration, how about this? Kathy,
yes.
Jobs are open and available. There are tons of jobs available.
Yes.
People need to go get jobs. This is going to be the best economy we've ever had.
Oh, are you talking new job numbers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so bring it on. Bring on these numbers.
Yeah. So guess what? Joe Biden and his propaganda machine misses real big. U.S. hiring sharply misses expectations in April with just 266,000 new jobs. Yeah, there are millions of people unemployed as a result of COVID. They only added 266,000 new jobs. Unemployment.
And took some of the jobs that they had reported the last couple of months, like 78,000 or somewhere around there, don't quote me exactly, had to remove those from the books because they really were non-existent.
Yeah.
So even the last couple of months the numbers have been skewed and now corrected.
Unemployment expected to rise to 6.1%.
Telling
right. You heard me.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
And that was a big unexpected, right? Nobody expected that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, last year in 2020, right when the pandemic hit, unemployment dropped to went to 14.7%, but that's because everything got shut down. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. For your ridiculous advice. And so, sure, unemployment was going to go up. But guess what? It did not drop like they said it was going to. Again, Joe Biden's propaganda machine gets out there and is telling you all these new jobs are going to be available, and they're not. In fact, there are still 8.2 million fewer jobs than there were last February before the crisis began.
Elizabeth says Biden doesn't know his own name. He just reads it from the cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I mean, I want you to sit on that number for a moment. 8.2 million fewer jobs, and we've only added 266,000 jobs to the workforce. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. I mean, we're barely out of his first 100 days. Well, look at the state of Texas just in and of itself. How many hits we took with job losses when it came to oil and gas jobs. We are in for a world of hurt. We can't even handle 4 years of this. We just can't, especially having come off such a strong economy under President Trump.
Right. Well, and again, here's the thing, right? This is the buildup, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's getting vaccinated. You've got trillions of dollars in government stimulus money going out there. You've got business restrictions, quote unquote, being released. You've got all this support coming together, and everybody thought a robust economy was going to happen. How about this? Yeah. Bank of America says their analysts say that only 4.6 million workers or out of the 4.6 million workers that exited the labor force during the pandemic, right, only half are expected to come back.
See, and that hurts us. That hurts us.
Well, I mean, again, our economy supposedly looks great, and it's because it's all government supported. That should scare you. Should scare you very much, because that means that the government is making you reliant upon them. Yes. And we are the them, folks.
We are the them, we the people, them.
And so
Yeah.
dig deep, get out there and get a job. I know that there are a lot of companies. Well, okay, take the, I think it was the state of Montana is not accepting stimulus money anymore.
Oh, interesting.
And what they're doing is they are, but here's the thing. If you go get a job in Montana somewhere,
Right.
in some cases they're offering a $1,200 bonus if you stay for 4 weeks.
Like
If you stay for 4 weeks.
on a job?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everybody's going to do that.
Because they can't get people to go to work because of the stimulus money. Yeah. Isn't that crazy
Wow.
fun something?
Well, I'll take $1,200 for staying on the job.
For 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You just got to get 4 weeks and you're good to go.
It's not even like a 6-month bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but look at all the places again, especially this is for the younger folks or, people who are just starting off. Tons of, servers, I'm looking at, almost every restaurant you go drive by, coffee shop, all that kind of stuff. You find a help wanted sign on most of those doors.
So Alexander Hamilton said this: those who stand for nothing fall for everything.
Yep, absolutely.
Give all
fall
the
for
power to
anything,
the
yep.
many, they will oppress the few.
Yep.
Give all the power to the few, they will oppress the many. And these are just, hello.
Yeah.
We need Alexander Hamilton now. The Constitution shall never be construed to prevent the people of the United States who are peaceable citizens from keeping their own arms. Even these guys knew, these are the framers knew, dude, you've got to be able to keep a gun in your house, protect your property, protect our way of life, our sovereignty.
Yeah, you're so right. Spot on. And nothing's changed. You still want to
No.
protect yourself, your family, your property. There was something I was listening to, some commercial, I guess, that I heard on the radio the other day. And it said something about how, and it really rang true. They said, if you're a criminal, you don't drive around in a car that has on it criminal.
Right.
If you are a criminal, you don't have a recognized uniform, nationally recognized uniform that tells people you are a criminal. So basically they're making a comparison saying, if you're a police officer and you're driving a car, it says police on it. If you're a police officer and you're dressed and ready for work, you've got a certain uniform that no matter where you go in the country, you can tell, oh, that's a police uniform. You don't know where the criminals are coming from. You don't know that they're not the person sitting next to you. You don't know that they're the person walking through your neighborhood. So hence the reason why we need to be able to, as citizens of this great country, protect ourselves.
Right. I
I
agree. And again, this goes, here's the difference between then and now.
Yeah.
I'm talking about our constitutionalists, right? We have indoor plumbing that goes to a processing plant. They just pooped in a hole.
Okay, well, there you go. I don't like to think of it that way, but okay.
But that's the way it was, though.
Okay.
That's the only difference. What I mean by that is that human behavior hasn't changed.
Well, and it never will at the end of the day. I don't care
it's
how much
so
you
funny.
shove liberalism down our throats. At the end of the day, you're always going to have people who want to do better for themselves, who want to do better for their family, who want to be independent thinkers, who want to stand out and be unique on their own. You can't stop that. Well, and just like they've tried during the pandemic, they've tried to shut down. And, by the way, a bit of good news. Jacob Williams, my friend's son, has been found. So he and the girl that he ran away with are home safe. So just wanted to say answered prayers and thank you so much to so many of you from the crew who helped spread the word on that. So that's some good news there. But, during the pandemic, and especially it's coming through in our young people, School of Rock, where CJ goes, we even had a parent Zoom meeting that you could join Wednesday night, which I joined. I'm trying to get a copy of it so we can give it out to members of the crew who would like it, talking about teen suicide and depression and self-harm and how all of that is unfortunately on the rise because of the pandemic.
Right.
Because I think about it, JP, when you were in high school and stuff, when I was in high school, I was barely home. Because I was doing drill team, I was doing theater, I was doing student council, I was doing French club, I was doing competitions. I was always out and about. I was, there was always something going on. And that's the time of your life when you're super, super social. That in your early 20s and things like that. And then, then typically people start getting married in their 20s and 30s and starting to settle down a little bit. I use air quotes. It's not normal. So it's like the government has shoved down all these things down our throat to really keep us down. When you're not able to be around people, that's tough.
Well, and it's not working anymore.
Yeah.
People are out. People are back to work. I don't know if anybody has been out there driving to and from now on the highways. We're packed. 5
It's
o'clock,
back to
traffic's
traffic.
back.
It's back to traffic where, I was driving the tollway to get to here to Venture X, and no traffic whatsoever. Now there's a big old backup when you go from Sam Rayburn tollway to the North Dallas tollway. So, and I know we're getting ready to play the music, so we wanted to mention Happy Mother's Day. I want to say Happy Mother's Day, Mom, Alta. What's everybody doing for Mother's Day?
Well,
Anything
I was gonna ask
fun?
you, what are you doing for Mother's Day?
Well, we get to go back to the tea room that my mom likes to go to every year for Mother's Day, and we always have big fat fun at the tea room. And then we're going to combine that with something that we did last year because we were unable to do the normal Mother's Day thing with the tea room last year. So since it's Mother's Day, I get to pick out a musical, and everybody has to watch it with me and listen to me sing and all that kind of good stuff.
That's fun, though.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to having a good day. We're looking forward to having a good day. So thank you. But
all right.
Blessings and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Happy Mom's Day.
Have a good one.
All right.
And we'll see y'all Monday.
I'll see y'all Monday. Have a great weekend.
Oh, stay tuned for This Pink Cloud, and then tomorrow, Kilroy's Conversation.